guarantee you right now, some of y'all are probably sitting back and asking God, why did I lose those friends? Why did I lose those opportunities? Why did I lose that job? Just asking him why? Instead of changing your perspective and asking God, why not? And I say that in a sense of, because haven't you been praying? Haven't you been sitting back and on your knees? At least I would hope so, asking God to give you this and give you that. Whether it might be, a financial blessing or a job or a sound mind, a sound heart. It's not always about the materialistic, but the very thing that you keep running from is the very thing that God is trying to push you towards, to elevate you, to give you and grant you the things that you are very much asking for. You might ask, what is he pushing you towards? Isolation. It's a reason that God is calling you into isolation and removing you out of places, environments, and things that you're just no longer in alignment with. Instead of fighting it, you need to run towards it. And I was actually, it was a scripture, I gotta add a little scripture here and there, right? I seen a scripture, I didn't see it, but it popped up on my phone. And it says, it's from Mark 9:23. That's crazy. Jesus replied, why do you say if you can? Anything is possible for someone who has faith. And that kind of just made me think that if you have faith that God will bless you with the things that you are asking for, have faith in the isolation season. Don't just sit back and question God about why. Ask him why not. And be obedient to what he's calling you to do, because the longer that you try to push back, the longer it's going to take you to actually move forward and just align with the things that you are wanting. A lot of us tend to just run from isolation or run from transition or just run from things that just makes us feel uncomfortable. But the very thing that is making you feel uncomfortable is the very thing that God is asking you to sit in. Me as a person, I was also a person, that used to just ask God, why is this happening? And questioning certain things, why wasn't this thing coming through? Why did I not receive that and the third? But at the end of the day, I had to change my perspective and change my mindset and think like, I've been praying to God constantly. So of course, God is not going to give me the things that I want, but he's going to give me the things that align with me in my season. And you need to start asking God to have his will in your life and let God's will be done in your life rather than your will. A lot of times we try to make things happen. As I stated in my last video, instead of trying to make it fit or trying to pry something open or make that door be for you, allow God to align you with the very things that you are asking for. If you want that blessing, whatever it might be obedient to the isolation season. Something else I realized is that when we allow ourselves to actually and truly go into isolation seasons, do you know what happens into that isolation season? Think about a butterfly. A butterfly starts off as a caterpillar, and then eventually it turns into an actual butterfly with its wings. And it can conquer anything. It can fly where it needs to go. So think about it in perspective. When God is calling you into that isolation season, don't think about it in a negative aspect. Change your mindset and think positive and think, okay, God is calling me into this place, so I know something good is on the other side of that. It's not happening for no reason, but it's happening for me and not to me. And a lot of times we don't realize the importance of even going within and isolating. God is trying to renew you wholeheartedly on the inside and out. And in order to receive these things that you are wanting, God is calling you to change your mindset, change your perspective, fix those wounds that you haven't even looked at and that you keep running from. You can't receive these things that you are wanting if you don't allow yourself to align with them. And not just align with them in a monetary aspect, but align with them on the inside as well. Like it needs to show up on the inside and out, and not just, oh yeah, I'm gonna do this for a little bit and then I'm done. No, honey, God is calling you into the isolation season. You know how Noah was in that ark for how long? How long was Joseph locked up? Those was isolation seasons. And not only that, thank you, Joseph was locked up for how long? And eventually that isolation season that he was in caused him So when he left that jail, what did he become? Something great. Something that he probably didn't even think. I mean, he had a feeling, or he had a knowing, I should say, because, he had that dream. But at the end of the day, get the perspective. Joseph was something of greatness, and something probably he didn't even was able to fathom. A lot of times we think, oh, God has this plan for me, God has that plan for me. Baby, God has something way bigger that you can't even put your finger on. So if you don't get nothing from this message, get that God is calling you into that isolation season for a reason. Don't fight it. Don't fight against the urge, but run towards it. And remember why you're running towards it, not just for the monetary gain, but to gain a closer relationship with God. God is also calling you to him. And are you going to disobey your father? I would hope not. Because a lot of times when we try to force certain things to stay in our life, whether it's friends, opportunities, whatever, God is going to cause havoc, chaos. And he's going to make it hurt us until we obey him and take a seat and go into transition and isolation. So if I was you, speaking from experience, if you don't want to be hurt, or if you don't want God's wrath, I shall say, it's going to hurt. It's going to be painful. You're going to be crying and wondering why certain things ain't working out. It's because God is calling you towards better. And in order to receive better, you have to do better and release. So I know it's easier said than done, but you can do it and you will get through it. And just know that isolation season is for preparation for what's on the other side of that.